Welcome back to the Turo Hustle. Okay, now it's been a minute since we've done one of these videos, but let's go over how much did we make in September of 2025. We're going to go over our earnings, we're going to go over our expenses, we're going to go over our true profit. Now make sure you stick around and watch this whole video because we're going to go over a couple of trends and insights that we saw going on in September that I know is going to help your Turo grind. So please subscribe, and as always, welcome to the Turo Hustle. Okay, so before we dive into these numbers, you guys that are new to the channel, I want you to know that me and my wife, we run a 7-car Turo fleet. So these numbers that we're going to give you, they're based on 7 cars. Okay, so for September of 2025, we brought in $14,079. Okay, so let's go over some of the expenses. So we have a car wash that we use sometimes when it's cold out, and that costs us $45.95. All right, our Toyota Highlander 2023. It's the only car that we have financed, and that's $743.95. Bouncy. Okay, Bouncy is a tracking device that we have on our cars that makes us eligible for Turo's insurance, and that costs us $61.60. Oil. Okay, I change all the oil myself, and so that cuts down a lot on the cost. If you were to break oil down in a month-to-month expense for 7 cars, you're looking at $77. Brakes and rotors, same thing. If you're going to break that down on a month-to-month expense for 7 cars, you're looking at $213. All right, now tires. If you were to break that down on a month-to-month expense, 7 cars, you're looking at $300. So that brings our total expenses for September of 2025 to $1,915.82. All right, so now that brings our net profit or our true profit to $12,163.18. Okay, now at the start of the video, I told you that our revenue was $14,079. Now remember, that's after Turo had taken his piece of the pie. We're on the 90-10 plan, so that's the 90% we got that's going to hit our bank account is $14,079. Okay, now we've got a couple of tips and trends that we want to share with you guys coming up next, so here we go. Okay, so there's 2 topics that I want to touch on with you guys quick, and I know they're going to help you out a bunch. All right, so here in Montana, in this late summertime season, we're starting to see an average trip duration of 3 to 7 days. Okay, now most of our clients, they're going to Yellowstone and they're going to Glacier. If you guys can start to understand your average trip duration and understand where your guys' clients are going, it can help you edge out a competitive advantage in your area, right? And so for us, I'll give you an example. Right now, we're going into winter, right? So we're getting ready to put all our ski racks on, and that's a competitive advantage for us, right? We got a lot of skiers in the area, and they're all looking to, get their skis in a convenient spot, out of the car. And a lot of the cars in our area, they don't even have the rail system that you put a ski rack on. And not everyone wants to deal with ski racks if you're a Turo host. So that's our competitive advantage, or one of them, for the wintertime. The more that you can stack on and the more that you can find, you guys are going to start to find out the more consistent trip bookings that you're going to get. Okay, now to touch on top of that here, we're coming down out of a tourist peak in Montana. We're coming down, in the summer we got a lot of tourists, and we're starting to dive down here into winter, and we're going to shoot back up with all the skiing we got. Okay, now we're getting into that valley area, and I want you guys to understand, you want to put a little bit of money away when you get down here into this unknown area, this valley area, when it slows down a little bit. Right? Maybe your car's sitting outside, the battery dies, it won't hold a charge, you need to get a new battery. Maybe you need to put snow tires on your car. Right? Now that's a big expense. Right? Now the biggest one is if you have a car loan, maybe 1, 2, or 3 of them, you want to understand how much that is a month, and that you can pay that if you were to get 0 bookings for a month and be ready to pay that for 3 months. Right? Obviously, you want to hope for the best, but plan for the worst because it's not going to hurt you. Okay? So hey, please subscribe, comment, like, and get notified. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Turo Hustle.